Just turn around and don't look is what bosses told Amazon workers about their co-worker's lifeless body. It laid there for over an hour, and Amazon tried everything to keep the death from being made public. Let's get into it. So a worker died at an Amazon warehouse in Oregon on April 6th, but instead of letting employees help, managers told them to look away and get back to work. A new investigation by the Western Edge broke the story 1 week later. Now, one worker saw the body on the floor. A woman ran over and started giving chest compressions. The worker knew CPR and wanted to help, but a supervisor said no. Only management or the safety team could help. The bosses told the workers to turn around, not to look, and to get back to work. And for hours, managers did not tell most workers that someone had died. Staff were sent home at the end of their break, and anyone who knew about the death had to keep working for several more hours. The body stayed on the floor for over an hour. Now, workers were later offered counseling and unpaid time off through an employee app, but one worker noticed that they were not paid for a full shift after being sent home early. The man who died was called a tote runner. His job was to move large plastic bins to a cart, and it's very physical work, and his cause of death is still currently unknown at the time of this video. Now, workers at the warehouse also said soundproof material blocked airflow and made the building too hot as well. In 2019, a local newspaper called it a dangerous warehouse. Amazon has faced similar complaints like this before. A 2024 Senate investigation accused the company of pushing speed over safety, and Amazon denied it at the time. The company has also fought off lawsuits about worker deaths, and most cases have ended in Amazon's favor. This just goes to show you that these jobs do not care about us. For a worker to die and then to be told while your coworker's lifeless body is on the floor to get back to work and turn around shows the system that we are currently living under and shows why we need a better system.
Rest their soul, but the death of the Amazon worker is being used as propaganda and you are falling for it. Does anyone else find it creepy that right after the broad celebration of that guy burning down the warehouse, we were immediately met with this like anti-class awareness propaganda with the Amazon worker dropping dead at work? And for some reason, people were not reporting on the fact that the supervisors were also crying when they told people to go back to work, and they weren't just these unfeeling monsters. Like, they weren't just these unfeeling, cruel psychopaths who witnessed a dead body and was like, everyone get back to work. Hey! Get the fuck back to work, slave! No. Like, does no one notice that this focuses, like, all of the arguments and turmoil in between the managers and the workers below them, and not the fact that this warehouse was way out of code? Instead of fighting the company who built the fucking warehouse, we're instead fighting our fellow worker? Like, why are people not reporting on the fact that when they were telling people to go back to work, it was for the protection of their jobs? They were also crying. Everyone there was fucking terrified. I don't think people see that this is anti-class awareness propaganda because it makes the managerial party seem like they're these unfeeling mouthpiece for the bourgeoisie. They aren't. They are also wage slaves. Those people were trying to protect the jobs of everyone working under them because they know that if they stopped working, remember guys, it's Amazon, they're all gonna lose their job. By not acknowledging the fact that even the supervisors were shaken up by the event, it makes them seem like they are these mindless soldiers who do the bidding of the dictatorial party. And when you forget that your manager is more likely to stand by your side than a billionaire would, that kills class solidarity.
So did y'all hear about the Amazon worker that overworked himself? Okay, passed out, okay, lost his life? Amazon, guess what the employees had to do? Keep working, because that's what the managers told them. They still had to get the boxes out while the man is on the ground waiting on the corner people to come pick him up. This is what I tell people. I understand a business still have to go on, but you cannot overwork yourself and lose your life behind these companies that don't give a damn about you. They're not gonna come and give your family $5,000 or $10,000 to even put to bury you, to put towards burying you. Guys, take your break. Enjoy your off day. I don't care if you don't do anything but go sit by the lake and watch the ducks. Okay? A peace of mind is everything. That's why it's called your off day. People are picking up extra shifts, I understand, because bills have to be paid. But you cannot take yourself out of here worrying about overworking yourself for a company, like I said, that don't give a damn. Nothing. They're not going to do nothing for you. You know what Walmart did? And I saw this. A lady worked for Walmart for 20-some years. I walked through that door. They had a picture frame. The cheapest picture frame that Walmart sell. Looked like it came from the dollar store. Not Family Dollar, Dollar Tree. and put that lady in that gold frame and had her at the door with a little flower. 20 some years she gave her work and just was there and doing what she needed to do for Walmart. And that's what Walmart gave her. You know what I'm saying? Take your off days, okay? That's what they for. Take your breaks. And even if you have to take a mental break from a job, you do so. Now they working around this man, waiting on the corner to office to come get him. Do y'all see how? I just don't know. People gotta have a heart. Let them people go home for the day. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't know. Hugs and love. Y'all be blessed, J-Lo.
On April 6th, in a Truesdale, Oregon, a 46-year-old tow runner at an Amazon PDX 9 fulfillment center died. He collapsed on the second floor of the facility. Somebody called 911 at 1:55 p.m. One woman ran to go do chest compressions. And then an employee named Sam, I don't know if that's his real name, was trained in CPR. He said to the supervisor, "Let me help the person that started the chest compressions because they're going to get tired." And he started to cry. Okay? He started to cry. And so the supervisor said to him, "It has to be done by management or a safety team. Just turn around, don't look, and get back to work." And he also mentioned that the supervisor had tears in his eyes. Okay, so when they called, I forgot to mention, when they called 911, the man had blood around his head. Okay, which was really, really sad. Because, I mean, he hit that concrete floor really, really hard. But he died right there. So all the employees were told to get back to work, do not look. Okay, so they're taking boxes off the conveyor belt, run around this man's corpse while it's laying on the floor waiting for EMS to come. And there's nothing they could do about it. This is disgusting. This is inhumane. This is immoral. Where is people's ethics when it comes to stuff like this? So his body laid on the floor for more than an hour. And mind you, people are just walking around it, stepping over it. So that's when management shut down the warehouse for the day at 3:45 p.m. And mind you, when they told the employees to go home, half the warehouse didn't even know a worker collapsed. Supervisors did not tell other people in the warehouse what had happened. Boy, I tell you, people are crazy. And then they say, "Okay, well, y'all need to go home, we'll pay you." Sam says, "I did not get paid for the full shift." So that tells you a lot right there. They only got paid for when they came in and they clocked out. And that was like after their break. Boy, I tell you. And then 2 hours after this man had dropped dead, people were still in the warehouse at 4 p.m. So this guy named Ray J, because he wants to hide his identity, he said that he is ashamed to work there, knowing that people can drop dead at any time, and we have to carry on knowing it doesn't matter to the higher ups, and everyone is replaceable, right? And not Sean, Sam, he kind of said the same thing, but he said it to where he said everybody in this warehouse are just numbers to these people, basically, and that he can't support a corporation that do things like this. And as I read deeper, I found some more information. So the Truesdale Amazon Warehouse Fulfillment Facility PDX9 has drawn attention for years. Okay, so back in 2019, an investigation was done at this same facility. They said that it had the worst injury rate. In 2018, 20% of its workers sustained some type of injury on the job, more than 6 times the national average. Employees say since they put soundproof curtains to keep out the noise, they were installed. It was hot in that warehouse. And one employee thinks that the heat may have contributed to this man's death. Okay, because a tote runner, he was a tote runner. So basically, he has to carry these heavy yellow bins and then put them on carts and take them across the warehouse. So it's very physical demanding, and being hot like that can raise your body temperature, give you heat exhaustion, a heat stroke, stuff like that. It could kill you being hot like that. And then they said, after the man died, y'all, after the man died, the next day they went into work, it was cooler. Yep, ain't that a bitch? All right, moving on. So, in December 2014, the Senate Help Committee reported an 18-month investigation found that the warehouse recorded 31% more injuries than the national average in 2023 and compared to its competitors. In May 2025, the total injury rate of 2024 was still high at 80%. That's a lot. In 2022, three Amazon warehouse workers died in separate locations across New Jersey within a 1 month period. And within that 1 month period, a fourth person died in Pennsylvania. This is some crazy shit. Okay. I don't know what to say. it's very disturbing that this is happening to people. Man, and then now they're talking about Amazon is going to start replacing jobs with 600,000 robots. Damn, damn, damn. But hell, what do I know? I'm just a talking head.
Did y'all hear about the Amazon worker who collapsed and died on the warehouse floor? And his colleagues were allegedly told to turn around and keep working? This happened in Troutdale, Oregon, at the PDX9 Fulfillment Center. According to an investigative report, it was a 46-year-old male who laid there in the warehouse on the floor for over an hour, and all of his colleagues were told to continue working while he's laying there. According to some employees, which were his colleagues, the supervisor told them to turn around, not to look, and keep working, keep operations going. And you're probably thinking, like I was thinking, like, nobody tried CPR? According to published reports, several of his colleagues were trained in CPR and they did attempt CPR. However, a supervisor told them to stand down because whoever performed CPR needed to be a part of the management or safety team. I'm like, what? No. They would have had to fire me. Okay? I am safety. I'm certified. I'm here and I'm doing it. There's no way. Needless to say, they were not allowed to continue. They were dismissed and told to get back to work. An Amazon spokesman by the name of Sam Stevenson came out and said that they are saddened by his passing. No, the hell they're not. They're saddened by this lawsuit that's forthcoming from his family, probably. Support resources have been provided for staff or this person's colleagues now that they all have PTSD because they were still forced to work while he's laying there dead on the floor. Amazon was quick to say that OSHA determined that his death was not related to workplace conditions. What conditions, you ask? Excessive heat and soundproof curtains, which are believed to have restricted airflow. I'd like to say this was an isolated incident, but it's not, because this particular building is known for having a number of injuries. Actually, their injury rate was at 26% in 2018. And OSHA has previously received 2 other complaints about excessive heat at this location. This is just disheartening, and it demonstrates a reckless disregard for life. And I will tell you, like I always tell you, put you first, because these companies are not loyal. These corporations are not loyal, and you are replaceable to these corporations, but you're not replaceable to your family.
Amazon PDX9 Troutdale, Oregon location to the front, because why would you allow this man to collapse, one of your workers allowed to collapse in the middle of the floor? You have people who is trained CPR to help revive him, and you tell your workers not to help him, and then you also allow his body to lay on the floor for over an hour while you tell your workers do not help him continue to work. On April 6th, a 47-year-old man in Oregon working at Amazon basically overheated at their facility doing his job, and Amazon told the staff, told the workers, don't worry about the body, continue to work. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I would have got fired that day. Not only would I got fired, but everybody who continued to work needs to be a part of the lawsuit that his family is about to give Amazon. Now, Amazon did issue a statement, but the statement was pretty much covering their ass. It was no apology. They do not care. Baby, when I tell you to continue to live your life and do not allow these jobs to outlive you, because you are replaceable to them. And it's crazy because this is a fresh case and nobody is talking about it. But did y'all hear about this? Let's talk about it in the comments.
A worker died at an Amazon warehouse in Oregon last week, per More Perfect Union. Employees were told to keep working for over an hour as the body remained on the floor. One manager told the workers, just turn around and not look. Let's get back to work. If this isn't ammunition to want to burn down some more warehouses, I don't know what is. Because how inhumane do you have to fucking be for a person to be fucking dead? And you were like, don't even look at him. Just get back to work. Don't focus on that. Focus on your job. That's what matters most. You guys couldn't mourn. You didn't call his family or friends. You didn't do anything. The only thing that was on your mind was still making that fucking money. And that is the problem with America currently. They only see us as worker bees. They don't see us as human beings. And the minute you are no longer useful, they don't give a fuck. They're like, oh, he's on the ground? Who gives a shit? Keep going. Keep working. If not, you're gonna be the one to lose your job, mister. And this mentality, it needs to end. We need to start caring about the average worker, the average human being again. And with people like Jeff Bezos up top, that shit ain't ever gonna happen. But you know what will make them listen? Burning down some fucking warehouses. So, you know, it is what it is. But this is so nasty and inhumane. They literally let that person lay there and they're like, just get back to work.